My name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Matsuricon 2015 with Mr. Jake Paque. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So, how did you get into the world of entertainment?
Well, I was lucky enough to. Should we walk and talk,
Yeah,
or is that
sure.
gonna be weird?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
very
weird.
strange, right?
No, it's professionalism. It's called walk and talk with me. Let's go.
I got it. Yeah, I was lucky to get involved. I had a person who worked with me on the set of a film, actually, that got into the world of doing producing voiceover.
Yeah.
And she knew that I did one with some friends. Actually, I had done like an indie cartoon, and she had heard me talking about it on set, and just said, "Hey, I heard you talking about this. This is honestly probably like a year afterwards." She's like, "I just started working at a studio. Do you still do this stuff? Are you interested?" And I was like, "Totally." And it started off in a they brought me in, and I had no idea what the world was about or anything like that, but I loved it, and it was like a part of the things I loved most about like the acting and art world. And so slowly but surely I got like a small part there. And slowly but surely it built into some amazing opportunities. So like I still remember that first like random email that I got where somebody that like knew me from something very different brought me in, and it was awesome. It was a real treat.
Alrighty, and it says in your bio that you have had the chance of voice acting in the world of Pokemon. How is it to be part of that historic franchise, knowing that it's been going on for almost close to 20 years now?
It's amazing. It's such an honor, not only to be working on something that has such a pedigree, but to have something that's such amazing fans. Because frankly, I was also a fan. Yeah. Like it was a property and entity that I knew about the world. So it's like joining a great. No, it's not like it is joining a great company. You know what I'm saying? For a fan, say somebody has always been a fan of Apple and then finally gets the job to go work for them or something. It's much like that. So it's been awesome.
I say, because I think you and I are close in the same age range, within the late 20s, early 30s, so we kind of both grew up with it and then be told, oh yeah, do you want to go work for it as part of your childhood?
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable, for sure. Yeah. Like, if you'd have told me however many years ago that it might be possible, like that probably would have seemed, astronomically crazy.
Yeah, because as a little kid, you're like, I really want to work for that, and then like one day you're like, I am. I'm pursuing the weirdest of childhood dreams.
Exactly. Like I was, had been doing the voices already and imitating the characters, and would go to school like only speaking like a Pokemon, like thinking that was very funny. And then later I just am a Pokemon.
Awesome. Alrighty, and so again, your vocal chops are put to the test in another fantastic anime, being that of Yugioh. How's it like being part of that show, knowing it has a really cult following, and also it's got the card games and movies and everything like that. So what's it like being part of that series?
Yeah, it's got some similarities to Pokemon in that it's got the dynamic of being this awesome entity. Like it was like being a part of a family, or it is like being part of a family. And I also actually really like the kind of the dual system part of the show. Like I enjoy that. Like I'm a person who's played some card games. You know what I mean? So like I get behind that and I enjoy it. And I love to, like, when people come up to me and have cards that I've used or cards that I've played with my characters have used, I think it's awesome. Yeah. So there's some parallels, at least in the interest of, again, it's something that I grew up kind of, quote unquote, knowing about, and then to be able to join that family was, it's incredible.
I say, because it came out when I was about 12 years old, the original stuff, and then of course they moved along, and obviously it's continued on since then, working with that in the series. So, and again, testing your vocal chops, you got to go into the Brothers in Arms franchise series of games. How was it being part of that and taking on Battles from World War II? I mean, it's a great historical timepiece, but also being part of sharing those historical moments.
Yeah, there's another one. We keep talking about these cool franchises. I mean? Brothers in Arms is no small,
No, it's not small
Yeah, it was awesome. And in that one, too, I got to actually do, I played a couple characters, but my main character actually had a French dialect. And I got to bust out a little French dialect, and he was kind of like this whispery stealth guy who, so that was a ton of fun. And again, I love doing the video game stuff. Like there are some people who, again, we all love doing all of it, but there are some people who maybe don't, but like frankly, if you get me in a booth and make me scream and, pretend like I'm getting blown up by a grenade, like I love it, I'll do it all day.
Well, going into the combat stuff, we are going to go more into the modern Combat 5, which was a unique thing of being a free-to-play mobile game. As an actor, how is it different? Because, I mean, you have a much smaller screen for the player to be on. You have to get a lot of dramatic through it. And on top of that, I mean, when you think about a mobile game such as an iPhone or an iPad, you only have a screen, this big versus, a larger screen like this or a bigger screen. So what's it like taking on that type of role, trying to get that dramaticness to that? I mean, because the DS is kind of that weird, big enough but not super small enough type of platform, as is the mobile games themselves.
Yeah. When it comes to the way we handled the acting and the reality of the world, I think we handled it just as seriously and the same as you would if it were your Call of Duty. You know what I mean, or something like that. Like there weren't any concessions made because it was mobile. We took it super seriously, and also with the I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Like the reality between the relationships and all that type of stuff. I think maybe 10 years ago, mobile gaming was looked at as something that was like secondary. Whereas like now it's just not the case. Like the cutscenes, the graphics, honestly, like our Modern Combat 5 is something that you could put on a platform and you wouldn't necessarily balk at or blink at. So I was really proud to be a part of that, and again, it was so much fun. I liked too that the character I played, Caden Phoenix, actually was like a pretty. He was a dense character. He had more stuff than just your typical like soldier run out there. Like he had a family, and he had that came into play. I don't want to give any spoilers away for anybody that hasn't beat it, but yeah, and he had PTSD and some like serious real stuff that had to be brought to it, and I appreciated the dimension. Dimension was the word I was looking for.
Now, it says in your bio that you love rock music. In your time listening to music, who is your favorite to listen to, and do you feel that listening to you helps you as an actor? We talk to a lot of our acting friends that are also musicians at the same time, and one of my favorite rock and rollers now actually is Mr. Johnny Ambosh with his band I Shine. And he's also an actor at the same time. So when you listen to music, do you also pick up influences from those in your acting as well when you're listening to the vocal ranges of said singers?
Man, that's an awesome question. I think one of the things that I think about acting-wise with music is that there's a lot of music that I would use maybe to get to like an emotional place or something like that. If you play it, it can bring something up in you and get you into a world. And that's something that I've used many times. Some of my favorite bands, they've been around for a while now and they're pretty popular, but one of my all-time absolute favorite bands is Muse. I can't sing like Matt Bellamy. I wish I could. But speaking of actors who are also rock musicians, somebody that I really respect their work is Jared Leto and 30 Seconds to Mars. Yep. Like he definitely just told the industry who said you can only be an actor or a rock musician. He was like, nah. Yeah. And he does it. And speaking of voices, I do not know how he can sing like that. You think about that from a voice acting perspective. Like I've seen 30 Seconds to Mars live, and I'm like, I don't know. You have something that, I could maybe do one show, or something like that. Yeah. It's incredible.
Alrighty, and now you also like spaceships, real and fake ones. So have you had the chance to play the Kerbal Space Program to test your skills and promote science and exploration?
I have not yet, but when I saw your question, I was like, well, I know what I'm doing next. So you'll have to forward me a link or something like that. I'll have to hop on it.
It's available on Steam.
Yeah.
Now, it used to be in beta for 3 years, and now it's out of beta. It's available on Steam. You can just look it up on Steam for $10.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was actually promoted by NASA. NASA actually helped get that program going.
That's great.
Because they wanted to help get future engineers involved in space exploration and also kids as well. So it was definitely one of those types of deals.
I would say that makes a lot of sense. Because they're needing to learn, or we need to learn how to find a way to make space exploration something that is plausible for the future. Because we understand about NASA funding, things like that. I follow SpaceX, and their exploits and things like that. I enjoy it. I'm like, those are some of my top Twitter followers and Twitter handles that I follow. Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny you say that because they actually do use real science in the aerodynamics and physics, which I've actually gotten to play with the game when it was in beta, and it's really scary how true to life that game is. If you make one small mistake in your design, it will crash and burn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome.
Like a training tool or something like that. Yeah,
yes.
For sure.
So the other thing I want to ask you is, we've covered a lot of great, fantastic projects. What other projects are you currently working on that you want fans to know about?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. Let's see here. I am lucky, a fun project that I worked on last year that's out there is a project called Super 4. I have a few bit parts on it, but there's a couple episodes where I get to play an awesome robot with an old-timey voice named Lenny. And there was the question earlier today about one of your goofiest characters, and I didn't get that one out there, but I wanted to. So that was a fun project. And again, I don't think I'm violating anything here, and I've talked about it a couple times. But it's been published, so I hope I'm in the clear.
Yeah,
but
fine,
but I'm on Winx Club is
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
is coming back around, and I'm in that as well. So that's one that I'm excited about. It's super fun. The animation is beautiful. The cast is awesome. It's a project that I really enjoy being a part of. So like, I hope that didn't step on thin ice there.
No. Alrighty. And now, is there a way to keep up with you online via Facebook, Twitter, anything like that? And a final message for all the wonderful fans that are watching right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Twitter's probably the best way to get a hold of me, and it's real simple. It's just at Jake Paque, which is at JakePaque. And then for everybody here, Matsuricon and everywhere else, just have a marvelous time.
Alrighty, thanks so much for talking with us, Jake. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.